lovely people. Welcome to our tarot reading for the week of the 14th of October. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a good week. And I hope you're looking forward to seeing what the cards have to tell us. Let's have a look and see. Very interested to know what we've got in store for us this week. So we have the Nine of Wands. We have the Emperor. And we have the Nine of Swords. Rightio. So we have two minor arcana cards here. We have Wands and Swords, and then we have a major arcana card in the middle of the sandwich, if you like. Interesting that we have two number nines. So 9 very much is about completion. In this case, it's nearing completion of a project or a goal or a task. And in this case, it's all the doubts that come just before that completion. So let's start at the beginning. So we have the Nine of Wands here. We have this very battered, bruised looking guy with a bandage on his head. And what this card is depicting is that it's depicting resilience and determination and strength. And so the card is very much representing the end of a cycle. And also a cycle really where there were hard times. And yet here he is, he's still standing. So this card would be telling me that you have faced many obstacles and challenges, but that your resilience and your determination have carried you through. You're still being challenged, that's for sure. But, you know, the suggestion here is to remain steadfast and to see your situation through. It's also reminding you really to pick your battles carefully and to preserve your energy for the moments that, you know, matter the most. So this is, you know, there's quite a big, strong message here. It's really, you know, clapping on the back for getting to, you know, where you are now. And also, you know, a word of warning. You're not there yet. You still have a bit of a way to go. And, you know, pick your battles, but you have the ability and you have the determination to see things through, to stand your ground, really. So the Nine of Wands, it tends to signify that, you know, every time you stand up for yourself, you're basically winning the game of life, because it means you know, creating boundaries. And these are sort of the emblems here of the boundaries being created. And it's so you're creating these boundaries with people who may want to control you or feel like they want to take you down a peg or two. So you know, it's important that you create a distance between you and that kind of energy. Now, also, this may be something that you need to do with yourself, because it could be about confronting your own self-limiting attitudes and expectations. And so if that's the case, then you really might want to have a little think about that. So it's the Nine of Wands. It represents pride, but not the sort of pride, you know, that would lash out in order to defend a wounded ego. This is the sort of pride would be a very dignified pride that you would get from building your own world, say with blood, sweat and tears. So be proud of the scars that life has sent you in the past, because those scars and those battles, they really have made you a survivor, because you've gotten through them. And you've learned skills to help you through them. Now, we have here the Emperor in between these two nines, and I'm going to come back to them a little bit in a moment. But let's just talk about the Emperor for a moment, because the Emperor represents authority and power and structure, very, very strong leadership qualities here. And when it appears in a reading, it suggests that maybe there is a situation that you need to take charge of, or a situation whereby you need to assert your authority in some way. The card is very much a symbol of discipline and stability and control. And this energy is a reminder to be confident in your abilities and not to be afraid to take on the challenges that you need to take on. So it sort of represents a powerful figure who is in control of their life and the world around them, and is very maybe unyielding in their beliefs. And of course, that's something that you may need to address as well, because being in charge, in my personal view, doesn't require unyielding. It requires the ability to yield and the wisdom to know when not to, or when to be unyielding, if you like. Now, this sort of the Emperor is like a natural leader that inspires loyalty and respect in others. So it's a card that can signify a time when maybe structure, order, and discipline are needed. So like this period where you must take charge and become more organized and create a solid foundation for yourself. So have a think about that, and have a think about where you're coming from, because you've come through a difficult journey here, and this, you've got really strong, and you have acquired lots of skills that you perhaps weren't expecting to need along the way. And now what the Emperor is doing is telling you that that's all great, and you're creating these boundaries, and you're looking after yourself here, but you need to be organized, and you need to be confident, and you need to assert your authority. So, there's a lot of discipline being advised in this reading here, for you to carry through to the end of this journey. Now, the 9 of Swords coming in here is kind of interesting too, because this is often regarded as the worst card in the deck. And really, that's just a view. It's not real, if you like, because this card is not real. This card represents the potential of mental shadows to attack you from within. So we're talking about things like fear and shame and guilt, and just feeling utterly alone. Now, just to remind you, all of these tools of our inner shadow, these are tools to sabotage us. They're tools that the inner shadow uses to sabotage us. We can be our own worst enemy. That's really what this card is telling us. Are you being your own worst enemy? Or, somebody might, the way I might say it is, are you getting in your own way here? So you're coming along beautifully here. You've really worked hard to get where you are, and you're pushing things through, and you've got the battle wounds to show how far you've come. And now the Emperor is saying, now you need to assert your authority here. You need to be powerful. You need structure. You need structure around you, and you need discipline. Now, this would be discipline within yourself, that you need to be disciplined with yourself. And then this card is saying, oh, but what if? Oh, I'm never going to make it to the end. Oh my gosh, what? I don't know anything. I don't know how to go forward. I'm useless. I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. And that's what's happening here. So this is where you're being your own worst enemy. This is where you're getting in your own way. So this card is kind of a reminder to say, get out of your own way. And to realize that, your inner shadow, they're like nightmares. They're scary, but they don't really exist. It's all upstairs. It's all going on upstairs. And you really are stronger than your inner saboteur. but you must stand up to it when it tries to overtake your mind. So you must go back to this 9 here, this chap here, the 9 of Wands, and learn to, stand up to it. So we're looking here at we're talking here about boundaries and, with other people, but also confronting your own self-limiting attitudes. Well, this is what I'm talking about here, about your own self-limiting attitudes. And so these cards together are saying that really you do have the power to do this. You are strong enough and you do have the skills. You just need to get out of your own way. Now, the more you affirm your inner saboteur, the more you affirm it with self-loathing and or guilt or shame or fear, the more it thrives. It's like throwing coal into the fire. So turn off that tap. Kind of mixing up my metaphors here, but never mind. Turn off that tap. Shut down or throw water on the fire or whatever. But whatever you do, it's just shut that off, however, and transfer your attention to loving yourself and respecting how far you have come and to respecting the scars that you earned along the way. And when you do that, when you affirm your value to yourself, those shadows will lose all of their power. So when you find that inner saboteur, that voice in your head that's saying you can't do something, do it anyway. So what? Just do it anyway. And when it sort of tells you that you should feel like crap, maybe do something nice for someone else, and that will kind of remind you, that it'll kind of remind you to look away from yourself as well. You need to remind yourself that you have a life purpose and that life purpose doesn't include shooting yourself in the foot. So, I actually I think I probably say this at the end of every reading, but hey ho, I do love this reading. I love how these cards all connect with each other. So like you've got the 9 of Wands and you've got the Emperor here, and this is kind of like suggesting a leader who has faced many challenges and is emerging victorious. So this really is a time when you must utilize your strength here and resilience to take charge of a situation. And the Emperor here represents authority and structure and is, telling you in this reading that is what you need now to, create a solid foundation. While the 9 of Wands here is representing the stamina and the perseverance needed to see things through. So yeah, there's a tough time ahead, but hey, that's life. So this combination can also signify a period of defense where you must remain grounded and true to your convictions. You may be facing opposition and obstacles, but your determination and your resilience is, combination is what's going to see you through. So this is like a call to action, urging you to take charge and to make difficult decisions in a calm and focused manner. So with a calm and focused mind. Now, when you pop the 9 of Swords into this with the, say, Emperor here, you've got the 9 of Swords suggests struggle for, between the two. It's a kind of like a suggestion of struggle for control and stability in your life. And you're trying to take charge of something, but your fears and your anxieties are just getting in your way. And by that, I mean self-doubt and, you're questioning your abilities. You're feeling overwhelmed by the challenges that you're facing. So when you have the Emperor in here, it's telling you to be that you just need to take control, be assertive, and to act with determination. But you do need to address your thoughts and your feelings to overcome your anxieties and your fears. And you may need to, go back a little bit, to check and see, well, are these recurring negative patterns? And if they are recurring, negative patterns, then what are the hidden reasons behind them? Because getting control of your thoughts is absolutely critical for taking control of your life. So, and this is something you totally have the power to do. And you have something going on in your life where you absolutely need to be on top of yourself. And, this card is telling us where you've come from. This card is telling you where you need to be now. You need to be in control. You need structure. You need discipline. And this card is telling you that you need to sort out what's going on in your head. What's stopping you here? And not just what's stopping you here, but how can you find ways of loving yourself and affirming your worth? How are you going to do that? So I'm going to leave that question with you right now. And I would say that if this reading resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. You can also subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I love to hear from you. You can find my email address in the description of the video. So guys, lovely people, have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week.